Hello, YouTube. Crack Guru here. We must be very, very quiet. Crack Ninja is sleeping, so we must be very, very quiet. I wanted to make a video to let you know something very, very important. Obviously, there's a lot of news about the DirectX 12, but that is misinformation. Do not believe it. No. DirectX 12 is not being developed for the Xbox One at all. No. Why would the Xbox One need such fancy smashy thing? No, of course not. The Xbox One is a superior machine. It does not need the fancy footwork of software. No, of course not. DirectX 12 is actually being developed for the Xbox 360. Yes, of course. Did you not know? Microsoft is getting a little tired of the PlayStation 3 beating out now the Xbox 360. And just before they take the Xbox 360 off the shelf, they are going to put the DirectX 12 on Xbox 360. And the fact is, Titanfall will actually play better on the Xbox 360 than the Xbox One. Hello YouTube, this is Cloud Ninja and welcome to another video. I hope you enjoyed this glorious, fancy screen capture in 1080p 60 frames per second video. Not, but anyway, this is going to be a great generation for all gamers. Okay, that's for the PC gamers, Xbox gamers, PlayStation gamers, and yes, the Nintendo gamers. Okay, Nintendo fans are always going to get their first party games, and that's what they want. You know, any Nintendo fan who is into multiplats, well, you know, they have no arguments. If you're into multiplats, you shouldn't have gotten the Nintendo. Okay, but the thing is that's not what Nintendo fans do. They get the Nintendo console because of the Nintendo games. Alright? So it's really just asinine for the PlayStation and the Xbox fans to compare themselves with Nintendo and compare themselves with PC gamers, because Nintendo is actually a different animal. Okay, so is the PlayStation, the PC gamers. Now, more and more, of course, the PC gamers are trying to be like the console gamers, because they are playing more of the console games than the actual made-for-PC games. Yes, and I just want to get this out of the way before I go into the actual subject at hand, which is Xbox One versus PlayStation 4. PC gamers have their own type of games. Okay? And no, Steam is not what you call somewhere you go to exclusively be a PC gamer. Okay, what I'm talking about is made for PC games. Okay, World of Warcraft, not on any other system. Okay. Unfortunately, Diablo is now on the consoles, but that used to be made for only PC. Okay. StarCraft, which I argue today that no matter how far you go back, all the way back to the original StarCraft, cannot be duplicated exactly on the console, no matter how powerful the console is. Consoles will never be able to play RTSs like the PCs can. But anyway, there was a time when PC gamers had their own exclusives, stuff that consoles could not touch. But nowadays, developers who make games for the consoles just port things over to the PC, and PC fans don't know any better, and they take the console versions, and of course they get the better versions because their machines are more capable and more powerful, and the developers allow the games to play at a higher resolution and higher frame rates if you have the machine capable of doing that. But anyway, going back to the subject at hand, now that I have gotten the Wii people out of the way, I mean the Nintendo people out of the way, and the PC people out of the way, the two do not belong in this console war. They do not. Okay? They are their own animal. Go play with yourselves. Leave us alone. This is about Xbox versus PlayStation. Alright, now let's talk about what's going on lately. Xbox is a little bit behind on hardware. We all know that the PlayStation 4 has superior hardware between the two systems. But it looks like Microsoft might have something up its sleeve. And they're touting that the DirectX 12 may be that, something up their sleeve. Now, I don't know too much about computers, and I'm not claiming to be an expert, but no matter what you do, okay, the hardware, if you're going to compare the two systems strictly based on hardware, Sony has it. It's not like comparing the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. Although you can say that the PlayStation 3 had less game RAM, for the graphics, because it split 256 to games, to the graphics, and 256 to the processing. Whereas the Xbox 360 utilized the entire 512, if it had to the graphics. So it was not that the Xbox was more powerful than the PS3. It was just the way it was utilizing its resources. Okay, two different machines, two different setups, same amount of power and spec. Okay, the only thing though is that the PlayStation 3 had the cell processor. The only processor to the console, or known to the PC industry as a chip that actually has physics built in. Okay, particle effects, weather effects, elemental effects, so the resources of the cell processors was never fully explored. Okay, in my opinion, I think there is a lot more that they can do with the PlayStation 3 cell processor than they claimed they could have. I think there's more life to the PlayStation 3 than we were led to believe. Okay, you can read all the articles you want and try to disprove me, but I think we were lied to. I think that the PlayStation 3 could have achieved graphical, gameplay, and resolution and frame rate close to this generation consoles. Alright, now, because if you look at some of the games compared between the PC, the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 3, there aren't a huge difference in the appearance of these games. Yes, the details, contrast, sharpness, and resolution, and of course some frame rate. But basically, it's the same game, same artwork, same design, same structure. All right. But anyway, looks like Xbox One will be possibly using the DirectX 12, and once that occurs, they'll have something that may make their system work as well as the PlayStation 4. Maybe it's their version of getting everything they can from the system, like the cell processor was trying to do. Okay. So we'll see. Will DirectX 12 allow the Xbox One to get equal performance with multiplats, equal performance and appearance of games compared to the PlayStation 4? Now, with that said, let's just say that both Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are equals. Hardware, software, performance, frame rates, graphics, resolution, everything is equal. Let's say both systems play games exactly the same. Okay? Then we must go to another realm to determine which system is better. Online experience. Now, there's people that will argue that they like the online experience of the Xbox Live, which may be something they're used to. And others will say that the PlayStation Online has improved immensely, and they just getting beyond the slight learning curve. And once they do, they like PlayStation Online better because PlayStation Plus gives you free games. I know the Xbox Live does too, but the quality of the AAA titles and the number of games that you get for not just PlayStation 4, 3, and the Vita, okay, you also can get games for the PSP. So the support on the PlayStation Online store and the Plus and PSN, whatever you want to call it, I believe has immensely improved and is much better online experience than the Xbox One. Now, we all putting aside all the multimedia functionalities of these two systems because they both do this basically the same thing. There is voice control on PlayStation 4, okay, but not as intuitive and as in depth as the Xbox One, of course. But they both play multimedia materials, whatever you want to call it, mediums, whatever. And so let's say that's all equal. Everything is equal. Okay, games, multimedia, functionality, hardware, software, performance, everything is equal. Let's just say that. So what do we go by to determine which system is better? You have to go by support. You have to go by history. And what gaming console today, okay, can you say still gets games while the other consoles have died out? Okay. And when I mean still getting games, I'm talking about exclusives, games worth buying, regardless if the fans buy it or not. And I know many of you will say, well, PlayStation fans don't buy their games. Well, you know, you don't have to have multi-millions sold in order for it to have been a success. You know, the fact that people buy the game, play the game, okay, and there's a profit that was made on the game, you know, and the awards and the reviews that the games get is also a factor, not just sales. So anyway, in my opinion, I have nothing against Xbox One. I have nothing against Nintendo. I have nothing against PC gamers. But if you want to look at home console gaming at its finest and which one is the best, I think for the next 5 or 6 or 7 years, the system to have is the PlayStation 4. Now, with Titanfall coming out, people are asking, will that save Xbox's sales? Will it help Xbox One catch up to the PlayStation 4? It may, you know, it may. But in my opinion, if I was a gamer looking for a variety of games and be able to play Titanfall, I would probably go out and purchase a gaming PC to play Titanfall. Because if the PC fans are correct, if you are able to buy a $600 gaming rig and play games just as good or better than the Xbox One, then why not go out there and purchase a $600 gaming rig? Then you'll be able to play all of the Xbox One exclusives. Okay. Unless, of course, you want that voice control multimedia functionality. In my opinion, I don't think it's necessary. It's redundant to have two systems. PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One is kind of redundant, I believe. But then again, of course, if you're a true gamer, quote unquote true gamer, and you have the money to burn or money to spend, why not own all of the consoles, including PCs? But anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.